Before we even start, I suppose I'd better warn you that in my act there is a certain amount of bad language. I'm not talking about split infinitives. There will be some swearing and there is some material of a sexual nature. So if you are offended by rude or crude material, for heaven's sake, don't be a about it. I was doing a gig a couple of weeks ago. I got talking to a girl in the front row. I asked her her name. She said it's Pataka. I said, that's an unusual name. You don't hear that every day. To which she replied, actually, I do. I don't know, does anyone in here use Vodafone products by any chance? Anyone? Mainly people over there. I imagine that's where the reception is best, is it? Now, I don't use Vodafone products, not because they're not good products. I'm sure they're reasonably priced. I'm sure they work reasonably well. But I don't use them because I don't like their advertising slogan. It's join the world's largest mobile community. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. That's the gypsies. No offence to you. If you want to dress in that manner and live in a lay-by, it's very much up to you. Can't believe you went like that. Well done. Good. What's your name? Scott. Scott. Well, don't feel bad about everyone laughing at you, Scott. It's fine. You and I both know they all need clothes pegs. Oh, yeah, there'll always be work for people like Scott to avoid. My father used to say, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Till the accident. Feminists say, and you may agree with this, you may not, feminists say, a woman's work is never done. Maybe they got themselves organised a little bit better. It's a bit of an icy stare you give me there, madam. What you've got to understand is that's postmodern misogyny. That joke is in fact steeped in irony. So don't you worry your pretty little head about it, love. I had one of those serious relationship conversations the other week with my girlfriend where she sat me down and talked at me for about 6 hours. I hadn't realised until then that when a man says he is spoken for, that is quite literally what he means. She said to me, Jimmy, we're at a crossroads in our relationship. Down one road is hard work and commitment, but ultimately, happiness. And down the other road, well, the other road is a dead end. And I said, that's not a crossroads, that's a T-junction. Well, I'm glad you laughed. She went fucking mental. I should, I suppose, point out at this early stage in the show that despite my dress and general demeanour, I'm not gay. Unless you're from Newcastle. And by gay, you mean owns a coat. You're looking a bit disappointed there. Sorry, it's just homosexuality isn't my thing. No hard feelings. Sorry, I don't want to spoil the mood. I'm not, I'm not homophobic. I'm not scared of you. It's fine, obviously some people are straight, some people are gay. That is fine. I'm what you might call a stray. I'm straight, but I'm socially gay. It means I'll notice when a female friend changes her hair or buys new shoes, but I won't accept your cock in my arse. It's less of a joke, it's just something I wanted to make absolutely clear. I get the feeling from that look on your face that I may have misjudged this situation. You either look hard or gay. Hopefully not both. You look as if you want to take me outside. I'm not entirely sure why. I suppose either way I'm buggered. As I'm sure you all would have ascertained, I'm quite middle class, and I'm from the home counties. So I don't have an accent. This is just how things sound when they're pronounced properly. Not that there's anything wrong with being working class these days. Being working class is very much like masturbation. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Of course, it's nothing to be proud of either. And both give you calluses on your hands. Sting, the popular singer, Sting's often bragging about his 8-hour-a-night sex sessions with his wife, Trudy. Imagine how long he'd be able to keep it up if she was a looker. In Japan, they believe that tiger penis improves fertility. But I think, if you really want to get pregnant, you're best off using a man's cock. My best mate's girlfriend is 6 months pregnant. They said, "Do you want to feel the baby?" On reflection, I think they meant on the outside. They say travel broadens the mind, except with Americans, which tends to widen the arse. A lot of people quote the fact that only 10% of Americans have passports. The thing is, they say it like it's a bad thing. Don't get the wrong idea, I've got nothing against Americans. Just one came up to me after a show a couple of weeks ago and said he thought I was patronising. I said, well, I think you'll find that's pronounced patronising. It means when you talk down to someone. Don't worry, I'm not being condescending. I'm far too busy thinking about important things you will understand. I'm not sure if you're aware of this. Did you know you're 10 times more likely to get mugged in London than you are in New York City? It's because you don't live in New York City. See, my favourite news story of the last year came from America. I'm sure you all saw this story in the papers or on TV. It was a story about a man in Utah, an American man, who he was out rambling in the wilds of Utah, the beautiful desert landscape, and there was a rock fall, and he got his hand trapped underneath a massive boulder, and he had to sever his own hand in order to walk to freedom. Incredible story about human courage and spirit. Did you all see that story? Well, I can't believe anyone saw it and didn't ask themselves the question, because I think it does beg the question, would I be able to do that? I've given it quite a lot of thought, and I think, yes, I would be able to do that. What do I care about an American's hand? If it's life or death, I'll cut his fucking head off. The other story that sort of tickled me from America, not quite as inspiring, I'll be absolutely honest with you, was the story of an English woman and an American man. This made the papers earlier in the year. They were flying from JFK to London Heathrow, never met each other before, flying in first class. They just knew each other for 8 hours, and they were arrested as they came into land at Heathrow. And the reason they were arrested was because the lady was filleting the man. I mean, sucking off. Yes, as they came into land, the lady was filleting the man. I myself prefer a boiled sweet. I just can't quite imagine how that happened. Presumably, at some point, she turned to him and said, "My ears are popping. Have you got a boiled sweet?" And he said, "No, I haven't, but I've got an idea. I am Jimmy Carr off the telly." I know that because people come up to me and say, "Jimmy Carr, off the telly." That tends to be less a description, more of a request. Fine. Swimming's good for you, especially if you're drowning. Not only do you get a cardiovascular workout, you also don't die. 2 ticks. I said to my girlfriend, I said, "You shouldn't eat before you go swimming." She said, "Why?" I said, "You look fat." I've got a friend whose nickname is Shagger. You might think, that's pretty cool. She doesn't like it. You know those anti-AIDS red ribbons? You don't see so many of them around these days, do you? That is, I think, because these so-called anti-AIDS ribbons actually offer no protection. You think you're upset? I found out from a bloke in the gents. Do you realise that last joke makes me sound a little bit gay? I'm not. I realise I'm wearing the kind of shirt that's often lifted. But I'm not. My own mum thought I was gay. When I was 19, my mum was convinced I was gay. It's very difficult to convince your mum you're not gay. Until we got a camcorder, I was fucked. But I'm what's referred to as a gay-friendly act. You know? I'm a gay-friendly act. I was asked last November to judge Mr. Gay UK. I said it would be my pleasure. He's against nature and against God, and he's going to hell. I think it's okay to tell that joke because it's almost impossible to offend a homosexual man. You know, because let's face it, if they're doing that for fun... If your idea of a good time is a cock in your arse, what do you care? We've all thought about gay sex, though, haven't we? You've thought about gay sex, haven't you, sir? No. You haven't thought about gay sex. You just leapt in there and fucked him. Well, I admire your honesty, sir, and your bravery. I thought about gay sex. I thought, oh, my cock could get covered in poo. You're sniggering. What's your name, blonde lady? Who... Move along? What are you saying, Vicky? Dance for me, monkey boy? Is he your fella? Well, what do you mean? He's either your fella or he isn't. Is he your fella? Yeah. Sorry, she's saying yes, and you're saying no, and you've gone really red and you look really embarrassed. They're fuck buddies. Oh! I see. What? How very modern. How very 2005. So you're not going out with each other, but you are fuck buddies. That is fantastic. Can we just all take a moment to, congratulate that man there? A lot of work has gone into that. A lot of work has gone into that. He's had to buy a Cosmopolitan for a couple of years. Sorry?
My parents are going to watch this.
And they'll know that you're a dirty little hussy. The great thing about that is that he's convinced you that, we don't need a relationship. It's so old-fashioned. I should be able to sleep with whoever I want to sleep with. And so should you, as long as it's just me. When I say...
There must be something else going on.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of jokes. It's not every day I get to talk to a slag. Come on. Now... I don't know where the mark is until I overstep it. That's my... You just did. That is juvenile. Sorry, for those of you that didn't see that, it'll be on the DVD. Available at all good car boots. Vicky's response to that, yeah, she's been called a slag at a show. That's not good in anyone's book, and I apologise for that unreservedly. But did you really need to do that? God bless you. I was doing a gig a couple of weeks ago. I got talking to a girl down the front and asked her where she was from. She said, I'm from outside Birmingham. I said, really? So am I. What part of Birmingham aren't you from? At what point, and really I'm asking the men, at what point do you get paranoid about receiving enlarge your penis emails? It's not just me getting them, is it? It's just I'm currently getting about 10 a day. 8 of them are from my girlfriend. The 2 from my mum that really hurt. It's a rather pitying look you're giving me there, madam. I don't need your pity, frankly. I'm not particularly well hung, but I don't mind admitting that. I'm not embarrassed or ashamed, because I know that any woman that thinks being well hung is important is just shallow. Maybe that's not quite the right term to use. I broke up with a girl once because she lied about her weight. I say that, she died in a bungee jumping accident. You see, because she was heavier and... Has anyone got anything he could be colouring in? You look like some kind of surfer dude. What's your name?
John.
John? Where are you from, John?
United States.
Well done. John, do you know the difference between a British soldier and an Iraqi soldier? Know the difference? And what do you do, John? What are you doing over here? I don't need to check your papers. I'm just checking, just asking.
I'm I'm a college professor on vacation.
You're a college professor on vacation. Okay, sounds like a setup for a movie. With hilarious consequences. And then he asked me for a fag. Oh. Fanny? I thought he meant bum. Oh. Yes. So what do you teach?
I teach philosophy and religious studies.
Philosophy and religious studies. Well done. So, do you teach philosophy to the brighter kids, and then if they don't get the hang of it, you go, I just believe in God, don't matter. When I told my mum I wanted to grow up and be a comedian, she said, you can't do both. And she's right, being a comedian makes you quite immature. I'm sort of like a 14-year-old boy trapped inside a man's body. Not in a Michael Jackson way. Because he's a child at heart, not because he fucks kids. Because he definitely doesn't, for legal reasons, so... I should warn you, this isn't a show for the easily offended. It's not even a show for people that are quite difficult to offend. Essentially, this is a show for people without a moral compass. And that's why it's nice we've got a couple of chavs down the front. Hello. I did a gig in Hull recently. I went out to get a coffee before the gig. Someone came up to me and went, are you Jimmy Carr? I went, yeah. They went, are you in Hull? Yes, I am, you retard. I had this amazing cab driver. He was driving a black cab. He was whistling, yeah, smiling, clearly having a brilliant time. He said, I love my job. I'm my own boss. Nobody tells me what to do. I said, left here. Are you all right in the back? Excellent. It's nice to hear that, because often when I go to comedy shows, and I go to them all the time, I love coming out to see live comedy. The thing is, though, if I'm sat right at the back, I'm a little bit disappointed. I always get my ticket and go, oh, for fuck's sake, I'm fucking miles away. But there are, of course, advantages to being right at the back. You get more of a sense of theatre, of people coming together and sharing a sense of humour. What a wonderful thing that is, the great British music hall spirit. And also, if you're right at the back, this sort of thing won't happen. I fucked your mum. That's not going to happen to any of you. I've got nothing but respect for your mums. They're hard-working, decent women. Your mum still owes me a tenner. I'm joking. I owe her a tenner. Bluff. I'm your real dad. Kidding, no one knows who your real dad is. That isn't your mum there, is it? Sorry. This is a bit awkward. Hello, sir. She's brilliant in bed, isn't she? What, sorry? I don't remember her. What, that's the thing that annoys you? Not the fact I fucked your mum, the fact... You don't even remember fucking my mum. Well, thankfully, you all seem to be laughing. You all seem to have taken that quite well. What's your name, sir?
Julio.
Julio? Yeah. How did you know you were having a gay? What were you thinking as you gave birth? You think, oh, I hope he's a little bender. I'll tell you what, I'll call him Julio. Is that your girlfriend, or beard, as I like to call her? Well done. It's almost like you're protesting too much. Sorry, you're clearly getting a bit of a hard time. But, you know, you're smiling through it because at a comedy gig you're expecting people to be a bit, you know, there's a little bit of banter. You maybe weren't expecting that. But you're expecting a bit of banter. The problem comes when you do this for 6 or 7 days in a row and then you find yourself back in the real world doing something a bit mundane on a Monday morning. I don't know, maybe buying stamps at the post office. And there's a bit of cheeky banter between you and the lady behind the plexiglass. Saw you on TV on Friday night. Did you? What do you think? Well, you clearly know much for Jonathan Ross. Well, that's interesting, because I fucked your mum. Don't cry, I'll go. I saw a proper scientific survey. It said that women can tell if a man wants a baby just by looking at the shape of his face. Presumably, if it's like this, that means he doesn't want a baby. And if it's like this, it means the conception will involve a turkey baster. Well, that was my gay face. Was that not clear enough? Fine, have it your way. Sorry, I'd like to apologise for that mime. I neglected the balls. I saw a thing in the paper about animal rights protesters being up in arms because guinea pigs were being used in testing. I thought the clue there is in the name. They're not calling them guinea pigs for nothing. That's what they're for. I was in the cinema last week with a friend. He turned to me. He said, I'm just going to the gents. Do you want anything? I said, yeah, bring us back some piss. Thanks very much. Maybe one of those little minty things from a urinal. You know, they're called urinal cakes. There's a disappointing birthday. Did you get me a cake? Is not your favourite. The fog sign on the motorway. How pointless is that? Who's it for? People driving along thinking, I can't see a fucking thing. I wonder if I got cataracts. Oh no, wait, look, it's fog, what am I like? Do you all do the same thing as me? When you drive normally, you drive like that, yeah? That's the normal driving position. A little bit of fog, you drive like that. You get a little bit closer. You get a better view, just in case the fog is in the car. I went out earlier to get a cup of coffee. Someone came up to me and said, are you Jimmy Carr or do you just look like Jimmy Carr? I said, both. You know when you go around to a friend's house for the first time and they say to you, did you find it okay? What are you meant to say? No, I'm still lost. A lot of people think I'm posh. Who here thinks I'm posh? Yeah. Well, compared to you, yes. But I'm not as posh as people think. I actually went to one of the roughest colleges in Cambridge. Fame is weird. I'm at a very weird level of fame now where people come up to me and say hello to me in the street. Yeah, it's very flattering, it's lovely. But then they'll insult me when they're talking to me. They'll say things like, you're not as fat as you look on TV. What do you mean not as fat? Well, this is my favourite. They go, you're actually quite funny. Like they're saying, imagine my surprise, you're not totally fucking shit. So I'm flattered they've said hello, but then I'm angry they've insulted me. So I'm angry and flattered at the same time. Those are weird emotions to have at the same time. So I try and do the same thing back. I say, well, you're a super little I keep on getting mistaken for Alan Carr. So what I've done is I've stopped sucking men off. That was my hand symbol for no more cock. I don't quite know what that round of applause was for. Was that you thinking that's a very funny joke, or homosexuality is just about willpower? People often ask me, what were you like at school? So I tell them, I was a little black girl. It's about half of you laughing, half of you thinking, was he? You would never know. Wetting your bed is embarrassing as a child, but as an adult, wetting a child's bed is mortifying. It's almost impossible to explain that shit away. Well, it's early on in the evening. Let's try some easy jokes to start with, shall we? Good luck. I was in the south of France. I saw a brownie on a school trip. She was holding up a book. It said on the front, rough guide. I thought, yeah, she's not a looker. That's the easiest joke in the show. If you don't get that, you might as well fuck off now, mate. 3% of Britons never leave a tip, and they're known as the weirdos that live at the tip. I saw a headline, it said, Britain faces crisis. I thought, what, we're running out of faces? When someone recommends a book to me and they say, it's a page-turner, I always think, yeah, I know how books work. I bought a home pregnancy kit. Turns out my house is pregnant. We're thrilled, we're having a shed. I got interviewed last week by a very nice young lady. She said, "What's your house like?" I said, "I've got a semi." Which would have been fine, but then I showed it to her. And of course, by then, it wasn't a semi. If you ask 10 randomly chosen women how often they wash their knickers, a surprising number answer, "How did you get in here?" Treat them mean, keep them keen. That's what they say, isn't it? Treat them mean, keep them keen. But I think you've gone too far if you're using a Stanley knife. Of course, a lot of women stay with their men even if their men hit them. A lot of women will stay with their husbands even if their husbands beat them. I tell you what they need, a slap. Where's your self-esteem? Silly cow. She was tiny. Of course, the thing people never say about domestic violence, and it strikes me as being just so very obvious, but people never say this about domestic violence, is just how fucking stupid it is. I mean, you're hitting your wife. It's your wife. You might as well key your own fucking car. Think about it. You don't like her now, you're not going to like her anymore with 2 black eyes and a bit of a face on, are you? There are places in the country where that's just a joke. I did that joke in Preston. It was like marriage guidance. It got a round of applause. Well, I thought it was a round of applause. It was actually people hitting their wives. When I was a kid, I was scared of the dentist. He was a paedophile. I suppose that begs the question, how many fillings did he give me? I believe each and every child should be given a chance, and that's why, if they can guess the number I'm thinking of, I let them go. You know when you go into a fish and chip shop, let's say on a Friday, right? And the guy in an all too chirpy voice, it's the chirpiness that gets me, goes, as you walk in, he goes, "Chips will be 5 minutes." What? What do you mean the chips are going to be 5 minutes? Did you not think I was going to order chips? It's a chip shop. The clue's very much in the name. This is the one scenario you really should have been prepared for. It's like when you go into a Greggs or any high street bakery. Go into any high street bakery at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and they will say, in the same voice, wherever you go in the country, they'll go, "We've run out of rolls." And then they'll explain it. They'll go, "Loads of people came in at lunch and had rolls. Now we've run out." Like there was nothing they could do. Make some more, you fucking... I sometimes get it in Starbucks. Do you go into Starbucks? I love Starbucks. I love the posh coffee. You walk in there, though, at the end of the day, and they'll go, "We've turned the coffee machine off." Well, turn it back on, fuck knuckle. I didn't come in for a chat. I want a fucking coffee. I sometimes get it in department stores at the end of the day. You know, if you're in a big department store at the end of the day, you'll get, from behind the counter, quite a snooty voice. "Excuse me, we're closed." You find yourself thinking, well, how did I get in here? Am I a burglar? I don't want to be a burglar. Do you go into McDonald's? You might go in there later on. You might need a poo. Have you noticed how underneath McDonald's it still says restaurant? Who's that for? Who doesn't know what McDonald's do? And also, restaurant. Is it a restaurant? Really? You guys are a couple, right? How long have you been together? A year and a bit. OK, so long-term relationship, a year and a bit, you've been together. How annoyed would you be, madam, on a scale between 1 and fucking very, if next Valentine's he said to you, "Yeah, I booked a restaurant, yeah." "Yeah, I spoke to the maitre d'. Yeah. Ronald, I think his name was. He was either the maitre d' or a 5-star general, because he had the whole bit, aren't he? I've organised a table for 2 and he recommends the filet-o-fish. You'd fucking kill him, wouldn't you? And who doesn't know what McDonald's do at this stage? You'd have to have been living underground for 25 fucking years. Was ist das? Hamburger. Schnitzel. Schnitzel for the fritzer. I got stopped outside of McDonald's. This guy said to me the other day, he said, this cheap food is only made possible by GM farming, cruelty to animals and the exploitation of workers in the third world. I said, all right, hold up. You had me at cheap food. I'm going in, there's no need for the hard sell. All that other stuff is just a bonus. Do you get this? Do you get the super patronising warning from the waiter about the hot plate? Do you get that when you go out for a meal? Yeah. It arrives and the waiter goes, be careful, the plates are very hot. You think, yeah, I'm a grown-up, I think I can operate a plate. Also, I can't help but notice, Mr. patronising waiter, you just put it down with your hand. But it's too hot for my little fingers. I'll tell you what, Mr. patronising waiter, should we see if it's hot? Shall we? Ah! That's really hot. I don't want to be a dick, but you should have said. In show business, they say never work with children or animals, and nowhere is that truer than porno. No one likes looking at sick and degrading pornography. More than me. And one friend I have who has a diving school. Any gay priests in? No, for those of you that don't know the collective noun for gay priests, priests. It's an easy one to remember, isn't it? No, because gay priests were in the news, because if you're a gay priest, you can now marry another gay priest, and they weren't allowed to for ages because it was going to be confusing during the ceremony, because would they say, do you take this man, or does he take you? Who's the mummy? Seems a bit awkward. I'd like to meet a gay priest, though, because normally priests do that sort of nomine patre, fillet-o-fish thing, whatever that is. I imagine a gay priest to be a little bit more... a little bit more razzmatazz. Jesus Christ, you look amazing. Yeah, I'm going to kneel down before you. What? Come on. Jesus was definitely a What, he hung out with 12 sailors? Fishermen, whatever. I'm going away, we're having a dinner, no girls. And he had a six-pack. Oh. I've got a family pack. Nice. The church wanted to move forward on female bishops, but bishops can only move diagonally. Gay priests can move wherever they want because they are queens. All together or not at all on the applause. Otherwise, we've got to throw you a fucking fish. Well, thanks very much. I don't believe in God. I'm actually an atheist. Well, not even an atheist. Sorry, I don't believe in God. Seems a bit obvious now after the Jesus is a comment. But I don't believe in God. I'm not even an atheist. I'm what you might call an anti-theist. I think religion is a bad idea. I think it's a tool used by the powers that be to control the weak-minded in our society. But you can't pull that on a form, so I just write Church of England. I'm actually a lapsed Catholic. Any Catholics in? Oh, quite a few over there, yeah. I'm a lapsed Catholic. I knew my days were over in the Catholic Church when I found myself at communion thinking, I like the wine, I'm loving the wafer. Any chance of a bit of cheese? Don't get me wrong, though, I still respect the Pope. I like to think of the Pope as king of the pedos. He's the best one. He's the ringleader. He's Gary Glitter's boss. Did you see the story about Gary Glitter? There was a GCSE music question about Gary Glitter. How bad's that? How bad's that? A GCSE music question about a Gary Glitter song. Because if there's one artist you don't want associated with the phrase, shh, turn over, you've got an hour... I should probably leave Glitter alone. He just wants to settle down and have kids. Well, broadly speaking, as I say, this is what I do for a living. Sometimes it doesn't quite work out, because sometimes I'll have an idea for a joke, and then I'll sort of look at it in the morning and go, You know, if I've scribbled it down on a bit of paper at 4 in the morning, I look at it in the morning and go, well, it's sort of half a joke, but it's not the funny half. Sort of a bit more, you know, challenging. It's a bit more esoteric and oblique. Means difficult to understand. Make an effort, Mongo. Good manners are disappearing. When I was a lad, it was considered polite to tap a lady on the head before ejaculating. I know. You know why kids wear their trousers slung low with no belt? It's because they're dicks. True story. I attempted suicide once, came pretty close, killed the guy standing next to me. It's all right, it was a goth, it's what he would have wanted. Whenever my girlfriend says, fucking men, I always think, yeah, that is the alternative. Oh, what, sorry? Tosser. Right. Just tosser. Yeah, you know you're in fucking Glasgow, don't you, where someone pays you $22.50 to tell you to fuck off. Fair enough, fill your boots. On average, in the Northern Hemisphere, January is the coldest month of the year. But if you were in Australia, you'd be surrounded by Any Australians in? Welcome back. I'll tell you why there's no women's boxing. The weigh-in. The fight would happen then and there. Per square inch of head, people with red hair have 750 fewer friends than normal people. A lot, isn't it? Are there any redheads in? I think I'm all right if I look away. My partner recently lost 11 stone. Well, I say that, I left her. Fat cow. A lot of people like to smoke cigarettes after sex, but you can't buy cigarettes until you're 16, so I have to get them for both of us. You think it's wrong I'm buying a 15-year-old girl cigarettes? You think it's wrong I'm fucking her? I'm kidding. Kidding does sound like a verb for child abuse, doesn't it? I'm kidding. Are you joking or touching kids? Women say they want their ideal man to be the outdoors type, the kind of man that enjoys long walks in the countryside. And women say they want their ideal man to be the kind of man that'll take control, the kind of man that's not afraid to take a few risks. Basically, what you're saying, ladies, is your ideal man is a rapist. And it's true, if you're a rapist, you've got pretty much a pick of women. It's funny, because it's true. Well, I thought I'd kick off with some jokes, Glasgow, not fuck about too much. I'll pause for breath and say hello. How are you this evening, Glasgow? Are you well? Like an angry mob. Well, I thought we'd kick off properly. We're in a beautiful room, the Armadillo in Glasgow, bloody marvellous. I thought we'd start things properly, yeah? Because everyone's dressed up, it's a Saturday night. Let's start things properly. Let's have a round of applause for the ladies. Let's have a round of applause for the ladies. Yeah, quite right, yeah. Actually, that's probably enough. Looking round, some of them have made no effort. You've not made an effort, have you? Oh, bless him. Mongo, no lie. Look at you. And so your comment there is I haven't made much of an effort. Well, there's some cameras and some fucking lights. I don't know what you had in mind. It's not like I come to your work and knock the sailors' cocks out your mouth, is it? Seems like a very weird thing from quite a tough-looking man from Glasgow to say. Oh, you've not made much of an effort. I thought you'd be dressed up prettier. It's a little bit prison rape coming from you, sir. That's what it feels like. My point, there's an incredible amount of pressure on women these days to be beautiful and thin, and all I can say is, we've got some very brave girls in here this evening, really. Terrific stuff. So there are some stunning-looking women in here this evening, and some right dogs. You know who you are. I'm joking. No one in here is stunning. It's all right to make those kind of jokes in comedy because no one really minds. Because, like, occasionally someone will go, oh, yeah, comedy, it's the new rock and roll. It fucking isn't. I'll tell you how you can tell comedy isn't rock and roll. There's no comedy groupies. There's groupies in rock and roll. There's no groupies in comedy. What girl is so into comedy she's going to come backstage and suck me off? Well, might be a premature end to the show. Have her washed and brought to my room. I'm joking, don't wash her. Seriously, now, what girl's so into stand-up she's going to come backstage and suck me off just so she can go, that tastes funny. It's a very fun job. This is all I do for a living, Glasgow. I travel around the country, I find large groups of people with sort of the same sense of humour as me, and then I tell them jokes for the evening. It's a lovely thing to do. It means I get to go everywhere. Any Irish people in? Oh, a few, not that many. It sounds like the roads in Glasgow are very nearly finished. I was in Dublin recently doing a show, and I was there with a friend hanging out in Dublin for the day. What could be finer? And he dared me to say this at the end of the show. So right at the end of the show, I went, Dublin, I don't know much about Irish politics. That was pretty much their reaction. A couple of thousand people going, I bet you fucking don't, no. I said, I don't know much about it, but he dared me to do it, so I had to say it. I said, I don't know much about Irish politics. I just think we should have one island united. They were on their feet in Dublin. This guy is all right. And then I added, one island united, under British rule. They went fucking spastic. Any Welsh people in? Any Welsh? Just one. We seem to have contained the problem. Good. I'm loving the Welsh. I really like it. Every time I go to Wales, I have a lovely time. The people are very friendly. But I get annoyed every time I go to Wales, not by the people, but by the signs. All the signs in Wales. Have you been there? All the signs. Road signs, tourist information, shop signs. Every fucking sign has to be in English and Welsh. Everything. English and Welsh. It's ridiculous, because it costs a fortune to do, and only 5% of the population of Wales can read. Well, I like to think of myself as an equal opportunities offender. We've done the Irish, we've done the Welsh. Any Scottish people in? Imagine my surprise. Here's a question for you, my Scottish friends. If you were a homeless, alcoholic Scot and you had Tourette's, how would they ever know? Tell you where it's rough in England. I was there recently and I didn't realise it was meant to be rough, but Nottingham, I didn't realise this, Nottingham is the gun capital of Great Britain. Tell you what Nottingham needs, a sheriff. It's quite a silly joke. There any Scousers in? Oh, there's a few there. All right, hi the Scousers. You well? No. What do you do for a living? Oh, sorry, I forgot you were a Scouser there for a second. I apologise, I didn't mean to. That's awkward. I'm not having a go at Liverpool. I'm loving the Scousers. It's a great place to do a gig. It's got a similar feel to Glasgow in terms of people heckle quite a lot. They join in. They're quite up for it. A nice sense of humour. Loving the Scouse crowd. Although I will say this about Liverpool. Liverpool is the only city in Great Britain where JD Sports has an evening wear department. They've got a fucking bridal shop. Can I interest madam in an off-white tracksuit? I always make a bit of an effort when I'm travelling around the country doing this job. I always make a bit of an effort to do the accent of wherever I am. And I think generally people take that pretty well. They like the fact you've made a bit of an effort. But sometimes people get chippy if you don't get it exactly right. I had a guy come up to me. I was doing a gig in the north of England. And this guy came up to me after the show, quite aggressive. Yeah. He said, all right, our kid. I don't think you've got any fucking respect for this town. Try and do the voice. We don't even fucking talk like that. Not bad. I said, no, you've got me all wrong. I love Newcastle. I've got a friend that got into an argument with a barmaid from Sunderland. Long story short, he ended up calling her a fat, ugly Geordie. And she said, I'm no a Geordie. I'm no a Geordie. Sorry, that's a terrible accent. But it is how they talk. Before we get started, who's seen me before? Who's never seen me before? You sound happier. I'm not entirely sure this is working. According to Ofcom, the people that make the guidelines for television, according to Ofcom, the most offensive words on TV are the F word and the C word. But I'm live on stage this evening, so I can say whatever the fuck I like. And those can't do anything about it. I had trouble getting out tonight. Had to organise a babysitter. I don't have children. Just found they're a lot cheaper than escorts. She's 17, there's nothing she won't do for £50. Sort of half a joke, that, isn't it? Because it's quite funny, but also true. When I'm away from home, I sometimes get lovesick. Well, they call it chlamydia. I spend a lot of my time away from home, because this is my job. I travel around the country telling jokes to people. I love it. But I spend a lot of my time away staying in hotels because I have to travel. I was in a hotel a couple of weeks ago, walked into the hotel room. As I walked in there, just on the TV it said, the adult channel is disabled. I thought, that's a bit specialist. I'm joking. I was gutted. No spaz porn. I'm sure you've all seen this, Birmingham. On trains, they've got seats reserved for elderly, disabled and pregnant people. Begs the question, who's fucking all these old cripples? Do you ever hear anything so dumb it's almost brilliant? So stupid it takes you a moment to work out what just happened. I'll give you an example. I was on a bus. I heard this girl get on the bus, walk up to the driver and go, can I get a return? And the driver went, where to? And she went, back here. It took me like an extra beat to... Oh, what's going on? Oh, she's a fucking idiot. Case closed. People worry about their physical appearance. We've all got silly hang-ups. Personally, I worry that one of my balls is bigger than the other two. I shave my testicles. I call them Brazil nuts. Makes me giggle. Because it tickles when I do it. The first few weeks of joining Weight Watchers, you're just finding your feet. Well done. All together or not at all on the laughter, I think. Feed line, punchline, laugh. Don't fuck about. You're getting it late nonsense. Are there any ginger people in tonight? We got any ginger people? I seem to have contained the problem there. Good. Ginger people get given a hard time. People say very unkind things about gingers, but I think you should be destroyed humanely. I can talk. Check out the look I'm rocking. I look like a Lego Hitler. Das ist da. When I broke up with my last girlfriend, I said, I blame myself. I should never have let yourself go. But you have, so you have to fuck off. Do you read the Sunday papers, Birmingham? Do you all read the Sunday papers? I like the papers on a Sunday morning. I think it's a nice time to reflect on the last week and also to look ahead for the next week. We're reading the Sunday papers like the News of the World in bed, Sunday morning, a couple of weeks ago, tea, toast, Sunday papers. What could be nicer? What could be more British? Anyway, my girlfriend turns to me. There's some sex scandal in the News of the World, as there invariably is. And my girlfriend turned to me and went, I hope I never find out you're having an affair. I said, me too. You could be the moral arbiter on this one, Birmingham, right? You be the moral arbiter on this one this evening. I've got a friend, he got dumped by his girlfriend. She ended their relationship just because he said something. They were making love, they were mid-coitus, fucking. As he orgasmed, as he arrived, ejaculated, came, the most intimate, but also the most vulnerable time for a man, as that occurred, he said, bang, and the dirty's gone. I can see two distinct groups of men. There's some men looking at me as if to say, I don't think that's that bad. I think maybe she's overreacted a little bit. And then I can see other men looking at me as if to say, note to self. You've got to be very careful with jokes in the bedroom, because it's quite funny to say to a girl who's sucking you off, it's rude to talk with your mouth full. But it's even funnier if she says, well, it's not full. Having sex with someone at work is all right, as long as you don't work in a primary school. I've got a friend who's a part-time teacher. Well, they're all part-time. Are there teachers in? Come on, it's your own time you're wasting. Where are the teachers? Give us a shout, the teachers. And what was it that first attracted you to children? Not all teachers, obviously, that would be mental, but PE teachers, they're wrong-uns. You know what PE is short for? Pedo. It's a fact. You can look that up. You know why so many American kids die in high school massacres? It's because they're not allowed to run in the corridors. Take your time with that, that's wrong on a number of levels. It's very I don't know if you've noticed this, Birmingham. It's very difficult to get the first kiss right. You want to be firm, but gentle. You want to be manly, but you don't want to wake her up. First dates are very delicate. Is anyone on a first date this evening? Is anyone on a first date? No? On your own? Seems a little bit suspect, doesn't it? We're going somewhere very special. Sorry, I realise women don't masturbate. You just expect us to believe you really enjoy baths. Well, good luck if you're on a first date. You see, first dates are very delicate, because if you call her the next day, she'll think you're too keen, she'll be put off. If you never phone, she'll think the worst of you. So what I do as a compromise is I phone her the next day and call her a slag. Sometimes you can sense a friend wants to take things further. Will it ruin the friendship? Things get hot and heavy on the sofa one night, you think, this doesn't feel right. You're my best friend. You're not even allowed on the couch. Bad dog, town boy. Did I say down boy? I've made it gay. I fucked a girl with one leg. Should have used my cock. Now, I realise this joke does not require a mime. It's a Saturday night in Birmingham, come on. I said to my girlfriend, I said, you want to experiment with a role-play rape fantasy? She said, no. I said, that's the spirit. I've been described as the hardest working man in comedy. Not that impressive, is it? The hardest working man in comedy. That's like being the best looking guy in the Burns unit.
No offence to any Burns victims we got in. Are there any in? If there's one, there'll be fucking loads. They tend to stick together. And we're off. Someone came up to me outside and went, I thought you'd be younger. I said I was. I'm 40 years of age, but girls still check me out. I wouldn't mind, but they're so bloody obvious about it, pointing and whispering. Stranger danger. Every night after the show, I have attractive women banging on my dressing room door, and sometimes I let them out. Are there any comedy groupies in here this evening? Any gag hags? Any chuckle fuckers? The only reason I ask is if any girls come up to me after the show looking for sex, I'm going to have to disappoint you. I mean, we can have sex. Just it will be quite disappointing. I wouldn't lie to you, it'd be like throwing a sausage up an alleyway. More information than some of you wanted, okay. I'm a stand-up comedian, a TV host, an actor, and a writer. People ask me, what's your secret? I'm the M4 rapist. It's a joke. I've never been wrongly accused of rape. We all like a laugh, yes? Yeah. That's the one thing we've all got in common in this room. We all like a laugh. It's a very British thing, I think, to come out of an evening with the express intention of just having a laugh. Here's a great fact about this country. The average person in Great Britain laughs out loud 10 times a day. Not everyone, obviously. If you work in a hospice or with learning disabled adults, it could be 10 times that. Sky's the limit. Yeah, that's my laugh, which is... someone said my laugh was weird. My laugh isn't weird, it's wrong. Because you're meant to laugh on an out-breath, aren't you? You're meant to laugh on a ha-ha, ha-ha-ha-ha. I laugh on an in-breath, so it's ha-ha-ha-ha. Sounds like a goose being interfered with. Someone asked me the other day, is it fake? Why would you fake that? They say that laughter is the best medicine, so maybe, just maybe, if we all keep laughing at people in wheelchairs... I'm a dreamer, what can I tell you? I was at a show recently, I don't know if anyone's had this experience. I was at a show, watching a band, and standing just under the fire escape, watching a band play, pint on, with a mate, relaxing, and a lady from the venue came up to us, in the little waistcoat and the little name badge, came up and went, excuse me, you're going to have to move, because if there's a fire, you're blocking the exit. I said, I tell you what, love, if there's a fire, I'll move. Kid retard. What did she think I was going to do in the event of a fire? Just stand there going, nobody move. Why has everything gone orangey and hot? I don't like it. Oh, mobile phones off. I should have said that at the top of the show. Mobile phones off as a courtesy to the other patrons in the auditorium. I say mobile phones. What I mean there is phones. No one's brought a landline, have they? Let's face facts, the landline is dead. When the landline goes in our house, there's panic. Shit the bed, who the fuck is that? We're both here. A lot of people text whilst driving. I'm not excusing it, but we've all done things we regret when we're drunk. I saw a thing on the news, it said that bad drivers are going to get on-the-spot £100 fines. I thought, it's a bit sexist. Did you understand that? Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I'm not being sexist. How could it be? Some of my best friends are slags. Is this sexist? You can be the judge on this. Sorry for being rude, but do you think chat-up lines are sexist? No, they're not. They're fun, right? I know they're cheesy, but they're meant to be cheesy. That is their charm. What's that one? I like that one. Get your coat. It's cold in the boot of my car. I don't know if this has ever happened to any of you. I was checking into a hotel recently. It's about 1 o'clock in the morning after a gig up in Manchester. Walked into the reception area, and the guy recognised me and went, "Oh, Mr. Carr, we put you in a disabled room." I said, right, what's the difference between a normal room and a disabled room? And he said, the disabled room's got a walk-in shower. It's taking the fucking piss, isn't it?